Decades of war, the victory of those living above ground was finally achieved, putting an end to the long-standing conflict with the labyrinth. In the aftermath of the conflict, the labyrinth masters, numbering in the tens of thousands, were forced to release their prisoners of war. Amongst the prisoners were infants who were born and raised in the depths of the labyrinth. With their mothers long gone, they had survived on the unusual diet of monsters' milk. As these children emerged onto the surface, it became evident that they possessed extraordinary powers beyond that of a typical human. However, one particular infant seemed to stand out from the rest. He was the last to arrive and appeared to have come from the deeper levels of the labyrinth. His appearance was peculiar, as if he was born and bred in the depths below, taking him longer than the others to ascend to the surface. Humanity gave them the name Dungeon Babies. You're safe now, child. Be careful, it doesn't look as if he has control of his powers. That last baby grew up to be a fine young man. A rare dungeon baby who spent no time in the dungeon. But being in need of money, he took a job guiding a film crew through the labyrinth. Focus the camera in on him. Why aren't we here to film the second floor of the labyrinth? Film the labyrinth, my ass. It's been years since it's been found. There is nothing to shoot anymore. He's a dungeon baby. Filming him will give us a chance to make millions. I did a bit of research. Most dungeon babies are obsessed with dungeons. And this particular dungeon baby has no interest in the labyrinth. And he's the only dungeon baby whose level hasn't been revealed. That's probably because he's weak. I hired the guards just in case that's true. But the thing is, he could actually be very. Okay, let's move out, said the dungeon baby. What? It hasn't even been 10 minutes. We're in a dangerous location. We need to make it to the second floor as soon as possible. So, we're moving out. And remind your guards to refrain from using their guns, even if we come across a beast. We need to avoid conflict at all costs. Man, he sure is a wary wart. He's more like a Buddha baby. You just worry about doing a good job guiding us. And we'll protect you no matter what kind of baby you are. The dungeon baby thought to himself that they were not understanding his intentions. While we waste time with this small talk, somewhere in the labyrinth, a person is being ripped apart as we speak. Geyser isn't some sketchy neighborhood. An injured underbeast, commonly seen on the first floor of Geyser, made its way towards the group. The dungeon baby informed the group that this beast would die on its own. We need to leave before the scent of its blood gets into our clothing. All right, everyone, let's show them how we work for our money. No, don't shoot! Fire! The guards opened fire on the injured beast, causing it to release a high-pitched wail. If the blood scent didn't lead predators to them, the monster's death cries surely would. After the dust settled, the guards were jubilant to see that the beast of Geyser were easily killed. I was a little nervous. The rumors say people die here. But these monsters die just like any other animal. The guard ordered everyone to pack up so that the expedition could continue. But the dungeon baby insisted that they should lighten their weight so they could return to the surface as fast as possible. What, do you need to change your undies after seeing that display? A predator's roar could be heard throughout the dungeon. If we run now, we still have a chance to make it out safely. We took out the first one in a couple of shots. If we catch this one on a narrow path, we won't have any problems. These monsters are worth millions. If we get 2 each, we'll all bring home at least 10 million. The dungeon baby realized that this was their goal from the start. You guys can do what you like, but the rest of us will stay away since we're weaponless. Good, Buddha baby is finally understanding. What we kill is our pay, so don't think you're getting any of it later. Everyone else, hurry and follow me. But I need to film. Follow me! See you later, dungeon baby. Where should we wait? How about we just go hunt this monster down? The dungeon baby rushed through the labyrinth, trying to put as much space between him and the others as he could. But his charges needed to rest. They couldn't keep the pace he was pushing. The financer wanted to know where he was taking them. He had already screwed her film shoot, and she needed to decide what the next move was. He told her there would be no more filming, and they're headed for the exit. That's not what you told the guards. Wait, do you mean? The reason you stay away from the labyrinth even though you are a dungeon baby? It's because you're a coward? Everyone, we're heading back. What? Why? What do you mean why? We must film them fighting. We paid so much money to get in here. If we don't get that footage, we'll be broke. They heard the sounds of gunshots, screaming, and the roars of monsters from the direction they came. "Everyone quiet down," said the dungeon baby. "We're going to make a break for it. We can't let them notice that the group has been divided." "What's going on?" The original monster they killed was prey. The gunshots attracted the attention of the real predators. "You knew this. It's your fault they're dead. Let's say I was able to convince them. Then we'd all be dead right now." Their bodies were covered with blood, making them easily trackable by the predators. "But we could have saved their lives." The cameraman noticed a speck on his foot. "Those people had no intention of listening to anything I had to say." He raised his camera from the drops of blood to its chiseled torso. He panned the camera up to the maw of the beast. And the cameraman was lost. His last thoughts being, "Save me, please save me." This was not the predator the dungeon baby was expecting. A wolf monkey shouldn't be on the first floor. There was a whole group of them. They must have known our location from the start. The dungeon baby dashed towards the financier. He pulled a machete from her backpack. Instinctually realizing its weak spot, he made a single attack, slicing it open. The second wolf monkey went in for the killing blow on the financier. The dungeon baby tossed the machete into its face. They needed to retreat now. He snatched up the financier and informed her that he'd be running at the pace you would expect of a dungeon baby. "A few of your ribs may crack, but just put up with it." He sprinted away at full speed, leaving the wolf monkeys behind. He didn't glance back. He just ran, putting as much distance between him and them as he could. The dungeon baby gave the financier a moment to rest. She had done well. She must be in excruciating pain. "We'll need to hurry. They will continue to hunt us. You let all the others die." "What?" "You utilized the dull knife so efficiently." "So why?" "What are you misunderstanding? I was hired as a guide, not a guard. There was nothing in your contract about protecting you. But all those people died. That's the geyser for you. Am I the one who hired a bunch of idiots that's never been down here before? They did everything I told them not to." "What do you mean I didn't save them? If you all had just did what I said, everyone would be alive. Why did you save me then? You're the financier, how would I get my pay if you were to die? I'm still on the job, I expect you to pay. I'll do my utmost to keep you alive." The dungeon baby glanced upwards. A snake wrapped around a sword was staring at him with menacing eyes. It can't be a labyrinth emblem. He had just ran in any direction. How did they end up in the labyrinth? They needed to get out of here right now. The floor crumbled beneath them, sending them plunging deeper into the labyrinth. The dungeon baby woke up in a world of pain. His left arm was shattered. But he guessed it could have been worse. There was no way the financier survived the fall from that height. He did all this for no pay. But worse than that, the dungeon baby was screwed. He was somewhere in the center of the labyrinth with no idea how to escape. And there was no sign of any activity around. This labyrinth was most definitely abandoned. As he stirred up at the labyrinth emblem, the snake shot out, encircling him. It dug into his broken arm. 18,230 snakes released. "No way I'm going to die here." As he passed out, the words "you who will inherit this ominous underground" ran through his mind. The dungeon baby woke up on the floor of the labyrinth. Why was he alive? He had definitely thought venom spread through his body. His broken arm was completely healed. And not just his arm, his entire body. Something or someone had moved him to the entrance of the dungeon. As he stumbled out of the first floor, he ran across the financier Yunju. She was still alive, but in bad shape. It was strange that he was healed but not her. But he had no time to think this over. He had to get her help immediately. "Yunju, hold on, help is near." As he walked through his front door, he could hear the news reporting on his particular incident. "Today, at around 9 o'clock this morning, an expedition team had an accident in the dungeon. 7 out of 9 people died, and it's presumed that the incident was caused by an underbeast ambush. A survivor, Miss Jang, was saved by dungeon baby Mr. Kim." Wow, news sure spreads fast. Well, he should be fine. No one watches this channel anyway. Lucky for him, majority of the incident was caught on film. Otherwise, he'd be in hot water right now. Kim had no real need for money, but he took this job for his sister's sake. He had already left the first part of the payment in her room. He'll add the rest of this to it right away. Kim's sister walked out holding the envelope of money. With the saddest expression, she held the envelope out to him. Being aloof to the situation, he gave her the second envelope and told her to use this also for her wedding. And don't ask where I got it from, but I didn't do anything bad to receive this. His father stepped into the room behind his little sister. What do you think you're doing? Ah, father, today's not your day off? What kind of son are you? To risk your life trying to earn money. I abandoned work and came home right away. Did I not tell you to give him the money back, Hyunji? Go ahead, give it back to your brother. You have parents, so you don't have to risk your life to marry off your sister. What are you talking about? Working at the convenience store? It's not a battlefield. Enough. You're underestimating me? Even if we're not related by blood, did you think I wouldn't find out? I'm sorry, father. Kim's little sister gave him back the money and headed straight to her room. His father chastised her as she went. I didn't think I had raised such a selfish daughter. Father, why are you being like this? I chose to give her the money. There's nothing wrong with us using it for her wedding. We won't be using money you earned by risking your life for anything in this household. You are part of this family. Don't do such things to upset us. Dad, go get some rest and make sure this doesn't ever happen again. Adopting an orphan from the dungeon was a lucrative business, particularly when it came to dungeon babies. However, not all dungeon babies were as fortunate as Kim when it came to finding a loving family. Sadly, many individuals adopted dungeon babies solely for financial gain, which ultimately led to tragic consequences. He was blessed with a loving and supportive family, who stood by him through thick and thin. However, the impending financial burden of his sister's upcoming wedding was causing a sense of unease within the family. Despite being highly skilled in a particular field, it appeared that he wouldn't be able to utilize his talents to help ease the financial strain. Today's expedition had only given Kim new things to worry about. In particular, the new tattoo upon his wrist. And if he rubbed it, this happened. After doing some research on the internet, he learned that in video games, this was called the HUD. The Naga's labyrinth had to be the name of the labyrinth he fell into. Was he chosen as the master of that labyrinth? There was also portals in video games. Wait, this wasn't here before? Kim stuck his finger through the red dot. And the world cracked around him. He was deposited in front of the snake emblem. This time he could barely see its movements, wrapping his jacket around its head. No way I was going to fall for the same trick twice. This could only be a temporary measure. The emblem most likely wouldn't have any problem freeing itself. 18,230 snakes released, the one to inherit underground and sit upon the throne of Naga. You're too small and inferior to handle the weight of the crown. But I am not in the condition to hold back the flow of time, so I shall think of this, too, as fate. Kim couldn't make any sense of what the snake emblem was trying to tell him. Naga's throne? Are you this labyrinth's master? Glorious Naga's new king. I wish you luck. Kim was taken aback by this last statement. Hey, don't play with me. I hate labyrinths. I never even glanced at a labyrinth for years. I only went in one for Hyunji's wedding fee. God damn it! Things like this keep happening to me one after another. If only he had stayed out of the labyrinth. He heard something move in the darkness. Big brother! Can I come in? We need to have a chat. Kim yelled. Give me a minute, I'm changing. Is this the portal I came through? It looks to be more a tear in reality. Kim had to rush back as his sister was forcing her way into his room. As he passed through the portal, he felt as if his body was breaking. But once on the other side, everything was fine. Big brother, what was that sound? Why are you sweating? And you're still in the same clothes as earlier. Wow, you're a gamer now? No, that's just a live stream. I wouldn't have thought my uptight brother would ever get a hobby. What do you mean uptight? She explained that even as kids, he never had a hobby. He just spaced out in his room for hours. So that's how you see me. Kim thought back to his earlier years, and she wasn't exactly wrong. After leaving the labyrinth, he had a hard time adjusting. All he could think about was the labyrinth. He was uncomfortable in this world above the ground. This was most likely the reason other dungeon babies were attracted to the place. So, what's up? Big brother, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you went back to that place for me. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. He reached to give her the money, but it was in his jacket. He had left it in the labyrinth. As he looked back to the portal, he saw an imp digging through his pockets. Hyunji's wedding money. I'm fine, little sis. Don't worry about it. I was so into this new game that everything that happened yesterday went completely out of my mind. You think it'd be okay if I just go and enjoy my new hobby? Thanks, you're the best. See you later. His sister stood there perplexed. She had never seen him so excited before. Kim locked his door and headed back through the portal. He raced back to his jacket. But it was too late. The imp had emptied it of its most important item. The system explained the situation. While you were gone from the labyrinth, an imp came and stole your money. To find the imp, you must finish synchronization and activate the labyrinth entrance. What kind of bullshit is this? Why would an imp be interested in paper? Kim was dejected. He tossed his coat to the side and sat upon his throne. All his hard work had went to shit. Detail schematics, with all its information blocked out, set before his face. The system asked him would he like to proceed with synchronization. The marble upon his throne seemed to work like the tattoo on his own wrist. He had to retrieve the money as soon as possible. Should he proceed with synchronization? He had to retrieve his money at all costs. The best idea would probably just be to leave this place and never come back. Hopefully I am not becoming like the other dungeon babies. Kim accepted, initiating the synchronization. This all seemed to be more complicated than he expected. Hopefully he wasn't wasting his time. After taking its precious time, it finally started. 18,230 Snake's Nest Naga's Labyrinth has registered Kim Jin-Woo as its master. Reorganizing the labyrinth according to the new masters, Kim Jin-Woo's data. The labyrinth dissolved before his eyes, reorganizing into something only a bit better than before. It was still dark and creepy, but it aligned more with his tastes. The mention of gates on the status box was the only thing he observed to be different. The imp was slowly making its way back into his labyrinth as he turned to face the door. He was able to witness each stride it took thanks to his enhanced senses. A typical individual probably wouldn't have even noticed, in my opinion. This imp was an expert at moving covertly. Kim scooped the imp up by extending his hand. As it swam around, he held it by the throat. How dare you come back here again? Return my money before I kill you. The imp's posture gave away the fact that it didn't have the money anymore. Do you know how much money you stole? The imp offered to trade trash that he pulled from within his robes. I don't want this shit. Give me back my. And at that moment, Kim realized that the imp was offering him a treasure like no other. It was a down gem. Down gems are special jewels only found in geyser. You found them buried deep in the ground or hidden within a rare plant. However, it was impossible to find them with the giving methods. The most popular way of obtaining down gems was to kill dangerous monsters in the geyser. Because of this, down gems were ridiculously expensive. A single carat could be worth millions. As Kim thought over the situation, the imp produced a second gem from within his robes. Kim was in shock over this. The imp tossed the gems into the air, and as Kim snatched the red one out of the air, the imp made his escape through the entrance. As the second gem made its way towards his throne, it began to dissolve in the air. You've sacrificed a medium-rank down